What is up, guys? Here we are back in the shop, here to bring you another review of a new budget pistol, the Beretta APX by AIRSOFT. So first off, let's take a look at the box. So this pistol is pretty new to the market. I've only seen, I think there's like 2 other reviews of this, and it's a CO2 pistol. It's made for the budget-minded individual airsoft player. I got mine for around $80 at Striker Airsoft, which, by the way, I actually went there last weekend. Of course, my camera failed, and we had 3 guys from Phoenix show up. And of course I didn't get any footage, and my god, that was an amazing couple of games. So we'll just take a look at the pistol real quick. So it's another one of those Glock style pistols. Now originally, Striker Fire pistol designs I wasn't a fan of. I actually liked the 1911 just because of the real steel version, stuff like that I used. Just preferred that. Because of the overall slim design and whatnot. And for airsoft, I've started to get into these Glock copies, I guess you could call them, because they are pretty much Glock copies. Polymer lower, metal upper on this gun, and this is a budget-minded pistol. It's only $80 for retail, and it is blowback. And the reason why it's $80, I'll get to in a second. Let's open up the box, show you what they give you. Now I got 2 mags with this. I don't know if I was supposed to get 1, but anyways, I got 2. There was one in the box. It also comes with an additional plastic back strap, which is usually in a different color. So I've seen this. I think it comes in green, tan, and the black. And they've all got like 2-tone color schemes, so they'll give you an extra back strap that is a different color. Other than that, you get the manual and another magazine. Now right off the bat, these are not the most realistic type magazines. However, for airsoft purposes, they're not bad, especially when you think of the price of this gun is $80. You know, $20, well, $40 more, you could get an Elite Force 1911. However, I kind of like the feel of this thing, not the mags. So a little bit about these mags. There is a hole back here, which is where you would speed load it from, and it's actually very good with that. There's a locking mechanism, I don't know if you can see it there, where you slide the follower down, lock it into place, load it with your speed loader, bang, hit it, and you're ready to go. These carry 15 rounds. So, and it's pretty good too that when if you were to just let it fly up, let the follower fly up like that, it will not spray BBs everywhere. That was a problem that I had with the GFAP 13 by Gameface, which was the electric AEP. So let's just take a look at this. As you can see, of course, I add my laser just because I like lasers on everything, apparently. Just because it gives me the ability to shoot from all kinds of weird angles, lying down, sitting down, you know, half lying prone around a corner, and I can be fairly accurate with the laser. And you know, that's why I put them on pretty much all my guns. So as you can see, this thing has got trademarks all over the place: Beretta, Gardone, Vermont, APX, your serial numbers, made by AIRSOFT. On the other side, Beretta trademarks, licensed by Beretta, Italy, APX. Now here's a feature I like. Compared to some of the Glock copies, I like this big fat safety. Now, I mean, it's a Striker Fire imitator, so the trigger pull is pretty long. You're not gonna, like, you know, unless you adjust this, of course, you're not going to accidentally pull the trigger and get a round off, even if it's on fire like this, easily, just because the trigger pull is very long. Now, some people hate that, some people like that. Personally, I think if you have a Glock or some of these other striker fired pistols, and you want this as like a practice pistol, this is perfect just because of this type of trigger. Because you'll already be used to this type of trigger, which is very long, and right at the end is when you have the break. So let's put it on safe. Here we go. So the CO2 comes out of this back strap here. So it just slides off. Like I said, you can they give you 2 of them in case you break one or whatever. Which, looking on the inside, it's, I guess, decently made. It's got some reinforcement in there. It's not just completely, you know, flimsy. It does have some structural reinforcements in there. So hopefully that won't be an issue, since I usually intend to keep that on. But CO2 goes in the back right here. So another thing, tools included with it. A couple CO2 pistols right now are having this where the tool is included, which I like it a lot. It just makes it easier to reload in the field and whatnot. You don't have to worry about having an Allen wrench or a hex key or something like that. So you just, you know, twist it, untwist it, and bam, the CO2 is in there. That is also good because these mags, while they hold 15 rounds, you can easily eject them. You're not ejecting the whole CO2 like an Elite Force or something like that. So that is another thing. It's not exactly the nicest looking mag, of course. You know, these things are not great for realism or milsim or whatever, but they are steel. They're not plastic. The little butt plate part is plastic, but it's pretty well, like, it's stuck in there that it's not going to come off unless, I guess, you know, you drop this a lot. It's pinned in there, I guess. So, you know, more on that later to come. We'll see how this thing holds up. I'll do another review on these things, as I will all my pistols and whatnot as time progresses. You know, what works, what doesn't work. So far, by the way, these laser lights, which you can find pretty cheap on eBay, are brilliant. They've been holding up for probably 6-7 months now. No problem other than changing batteries and occasionally leaving them on. Other than that, there's no problem. So let's put on the back strap again, which it just slides into place. Simple, and there's no screws or anything like that. Just slides into place, and it is pretty well held on. Now, like I said, again, I'll make another review of this. Should, like, this back strap get flimsy or fall off or something, you know, because that is a potential problem that you could have. I can see it fits very snugly now, but maybe in heat, maybe with wear, you know, age and whatnot, you might have to wrap some grip tape around it. I'm just guessing, you know, in the future. So, as I said, this is a blowback pistol. So, we have moving slide action. The other thing that's pretty good, you can lock the slide back. However, this takedown lever is molded into the polymer, so there's no functionality there. On the other side, too, this slide catch is non-functional, so there's no ambidextrous slide manipulation. So, now that this has CO2 in it, you can actually fire it. So, of course, there's no BBs in there. They would be in the mags. And I can show you some of the blowback action. Now, this has some decent recoil for a CO2 blowback, which is the reason why I kind of picked it up. I just like that feeling that even though it only shoots about 325, you know, most budget CO2s are about the same. It does have that little recoil muzzle flip that is just a nice little extra to me, and really it feels like a solid CO2 pistol for a budget. Keep in mind, this is like indoor CQB. This is the noob AIRSOFT loadout. You're not going to be comparing this to higher end gas pistols. It is only $80. So if you're new, if you want to get into the sport, and you don't mind these types of mags, you know, this might be worth looking at. Like I said, $40 more, you can get the Elite Force. The reason why I didn't get the Elite Force is that everybody has the Elite Force, and I just like to be a little bit different, and this caught my eye. One thing that is interesting is that the CO2 blowback mechanism you can't really get into without having to disassemble the gun. It's got a takedown pin, 2 takedown pins on the frame, which you'd have to adjust. But other than that, I'd say, you know, it's a pistol worth looking at. You know, if you're into this type of thing, if you just want something new, something different, or you like the striker fire type pistols. Anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.